The third oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, Constantiam.net, has been going through a lot of turmoil these past few months. Bases falling, exploits being used to find bases, admin interference, groups being formed solely to get a certain group of griefers off the server, and much more. It's a lot, so today I will tell you all about the chaos that was and still is to some extent happening on the server. It all started back in December of 2022. A temp map base known as Foehn was compromised by a group of Russian griefers that go by the name of Zero Clan. The de facto leader of this group is a Russian player called SPW. One of their members ended up somehow finding the Foehn temp base and killed all of Varka Girl's dogs, reset the pearl chambers, whilst also leaving a sign. The base as a whole wasn't fully griefed, but other than that, not much happened. A player by the name of Yoko99 speculated for a supposed cordon exploit to involve beehives or bee nests. However, he wasn't really sure about this theory and he kept it to himself for the time being, even when he was sure of it. When it became clear that the server would update to 1.19.2, a couple of players decided to leave for the time being, as they didn't want to be exposed to possible coordinate exploits that might be going around. Weeks passed by and most returned back to play once again, after being sure that there was no sketchy shenanigans going on. But it just so happened that the Russian griefing group Zero Clan have discovered the vulnerability with beehives and bee nests, and they started using them to gather coordinates from people. The same thing Yoko was speculating to be a source of a potential coordinate exploit. The Russians would make a bot account that privately messaged people in-game if they wanted to trade beehives, in return for more expensive items such as netherite blocks. Since it was seen as an easy no hard work trade, a lot of players took the offer and basically gave their base cores to the Russians for free. Later on, many people started to notice a large amount of bases getting wrecked, seemingly for no reason. Almost all were destroyed by the same group of players, which just so happened to be the Zero Clan members. The same people who have been private messaging the entire server to trade with them beehives in exchange for more worthy items. They would try to brush it off by saying that they were just getting really lucky with base hunting and that they were following chunk trails with a supposed new chunks module. Almost nobody believed them and many started to look more into what was actually going on. In the meantime, more bases kept falling like dominoes. Some such as Arcana, Volantis and Ormonger's Bede. How was this possible? How are they getting all these coordinates to all these bases, of whom some were millions of blocks out with no connected chunk trails? This is when Yoko informed a few players that beehives or bee nests that store bees inside of them can be used to find coordinates of the last place where a bee touched the flower or where it was made. And well, if you traded a beehive or a bee nest that contained bees inside of it, your base might just be compromised. According to Yoko, he thought that people knew about this and that it was possible, but turns out he was wrong. This exploit was public for ages, yet nobody noticed it up until this point. It first appeared in Minecraft version 1.15, yet nobody knew. What also did not help was that there was some suspicion that the Russians were lagging the server when they seemed to fit in order to profit from it. This caused many to complain about the lag and email Phantom Captain, the server's admin, about the lag. On May 9th, 2023, another Unity was called up by MCG with the goal of going against Zero Clan. Once that was done, Sharpie and Bede were the ones who were for the most part gathering players to join and get involved with Unity. A few people noticed that in the videos which Zero Clan had posted were waypoints leading to some locations. It is now when Remy, Bede, James Russell's, MTS and a few others try to triangulate the location of these waypoints and get the coordinates to their supposed stash. There was some speculation of the coords being the nether ones instead of the overworld ones, but nothing really much came of it. When they found out where the waypoints were roughly, Remy would leave his bot accounts online on the server for days, with all of them AFK searching in a zigzag pattern for any of their stashes or bases they might have had. On the 21st of May 2023, Phantom Captain strikes back at the supposed laggers. Phantom informed the community that the members of the Zero Clan were lagging the server and will be getting banned from the server as a consequence. Now, if you didn't know, this is a common punishment for players that lag the server and make it unplayable. However, this ended up backfiring. Phantom Captain told us that he was spectating and looking for laggers on the server whilst in vanish mode, but a few claimed to have been false banned. Almost all of the Zero Clan accounts were banned that day. They claimed they didn't lag the server, that they just used the beehive exploit to find bases and destroyed them. No lagging whatsoever. Even if all of the banned accounts wanted to appeal, Phantom would ignore them. The major banning wave that happened on the 21st of May 2023 caused a lot of outrage and confusion in the community. Some were glad that the supposed laggers were banned, some were mad and upset, and some didn't know what to make up from the situation. But just 2 days later, on the 23rd of May, a player by the name of Skycreeper ended up finding the Zero Clan main dupe stash. According to him, he searched around the ruins of Belandis, which was a base that belonged to Crepitor, OMGF, Fletch and Hennycrafter1. He went to the Nera Highway and searched along it. He claims to have found multiple trains and ended up coincidentally finding Zero Clan's main dupe stash. His motive was to return as much as possible to the original owners of the stolen items. He told about his findings to the people in the Unity Discord server a couple of days later on the 25th of May and said that over 600 double chests worth of items were moved from it and the rest was being grieved by Hennycrafter1, a victim of Zero Clan's turmoil. What's funny is that as he was griefing this stash and also streaming it in the Unity Discord, he was suddenly attacked by an account with the name ACUP, which turned out to be the old account of Zero Clan's leader SPW. Right as he was attacked, all of a sudden, the server started to lag, and the DPS dropped to 9, which according to Unity members proved that Zero Clan members indeed were lagging the server, and their bans were indeed justified. But then SPW's ult was suddenly banned. This caused even more drama amongst the community as they assumed that the Unity members were directly communicating with the server's admin. I myself for a fact know that they weren't communicating with the server's admin, as I was there to observe the entire situation. But what do you think of it? I will let you make up your mind about this whole situation that is happening on the server right now. Anyways, that will be all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one and well, I'll see you next time.